We were hoping that you would ask the Prime Minister to rise and withdraw his remark and to apologise for it. He did say on a number of occasions that he felt that not just the Labour Party but opposition MPs, including Green Party MPs, were backing rapists, and I would ask that you ask him to withdraw and apologise for that comment.
I gave serious thought. First of all, I disagree that there were a number of occasions which that comment was reported. As I said in my ruling, I've studied it very carefully. It was an interjection, or it was a comment, but only stated once. I cannot ask a member to withdraw subsequent to the event if it's not dealt with at the time. And we had a very example of that when only last week there were allegations made in this House which some people claimed to be racist, and I was then asked, in hindsight, for that remark to be withdrawn. I cannot do that. That's the point I'm making in my ruling. I want to deal with these matters at the time. It's important that I jump on them, but if I don't, then you as members must jump to your feet at that occasion so we can deal with it at the time, and if a withdrawal and apology is demanded, then I can exercise that.
Point of order.
Order. To the Leader of the Opposition, I'm on my feet. I will hear from Materia Ture.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My point of order is just to understand the chronology. As the Hansard is printed on the parliamentary website, Marama Davison asked her oral question. The Prime Minister then responded with an answer that ended with, if those members want to protect sex offenders, rapists and murderers, go ahead. Mr Robertson then stood up to take a point of order. You dealt with a number of point of orders with Mr Robertson and Mr Hipkins, as is expected, and then I raised the exact point of order with you, saying that we took offence to that comment. There was no sooner opportunity to do that. We did so at the time, and you refused to accept it.
I was hoping I'd made it more clear in my ruling. The comments to which the member then refers, I do not consider to be unparliamentary. I totally agree that the earlier comments, which I quote in my ruling, are unparliamentary. The problem with the situation yesterday is it was 4.5 minutes after those comments were made before any member suggested offence was taken.
Order, Mr Speaker.
A point of order.
Just in reference to your ruling about what was and what was not unparliamentary, sir. In 2003, a Speaker ruled that it was unparliamentary to allege that the opposition were supporting gangs. That was under Speaker Hunt in 2003. So I find it odd to say that it is parliamentary language to say that the opposition are supporting rapists and murderers, but it is not parliamentary to say that they're supporting gangs. There are some other examples of unparliamentary language, such as angry smurf, shag spider, Barbie doll, bigot, chicken, monkeys, sewer rat and gutless have all been ruled unparliamentary. I find it extraordinary that you could say that it is parliamentary to say that members of the opposition are backing rapists and murderers.
Order. I invite the member to go back and carefully study Hansard. The words that he's quoted are in fact Materia Ture's interpretation of the words as she felt they occurred. Order. I don't want to start by asking members to leave the chamber, but when I'm on my feet, I expect silence from all members. As I've ruled, when I interpret the other comments that were made, though robust, I do not consider they to be unparliamentary. The first comment, the one that offence was ultimately taken of, was unparliamentary. I should have dealt with it. I did not. It should have been raised with me at that time.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Fresh point of order, Chris.
Mr Speaker, I just note question number 4 quotes the comment that the Prime Minister made, which you've now deemed to be unparliamentary. I just want to seek some reassurance from you that as that comment has not been withdrawn and it remains part of the parliamentary proceedings and parliamentary records, that the opposition is still able to question the Prime Minister on that and in fact quote from it, because as long as it hasn't been withdrawn then it is still part of the parliamentary proceeding.
Yes, I can give an assurance that the question is in order, Those words are now part of parliamentary proceedings, so the question can be asked. I will be hoping for a fair amount of quiet so I can very carefully listen to the answers from the Prime Minister. But if the Prime Minister intends to attempt to repeat such words, then I will be acting accordingly. Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr Speaker, I hope I can ask for your indulgence as the member who raised the point of order to clarify a matter. I raised the point of order after the Prime Minister used the phrase protect, and there were other things, but protect the rapists. You, I take it, are drawing a distinction between using the phrase back the rapists and protect the rapists, because you could perhaps understand why both of those phrases would be, I would have thought, unparliamentary and certainly offensive. But I just want to clarify, that is the distinction you're drawing. Backing is unparliamentary, protecting is not.
No, again, the member needs to actually quote the words that were said, and I haven't had them. The Prime Minister, towards the end of the answer, says, if those members want to protect sex offenders, rapists and murderers, go ahead, I'm not going to. I see nothing unparliamentary in that, as I've already stated categorically. Order. I'm on my feet. Dennis O'Rourke.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave that the House request the Prime Minister to withdraw his interjection
no. And
yesterday.
again, that was only ruled on yesterday. You cannot seek leave on behalf of another member.
Sir. Point of order, sir.
I just want to check. I think order. I have a point of order from Materia 2. I just want to check we're not spending more time relitigating a ruling I've already given. Fresh point of order, Materia 2.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. As the victim of a sexual assault, I take personal offence at the Prime Minister's comments and ask that you require him to withdraw and apologise.
Order. The Prime Minister, whilst I've been in the chair, has not said a word today. I can't ask him to withdraw and apologise when he hasn't even made a comment today. Dennis O'Rourke, point of order.
In response to the last point of order I raised, you mentioned that I was moving on behalf of another member. I was in fact moving that the House request the Prime Minister to withdraw his interjection yesterday.
And that's not within standing orders. Jan Logie, point of order.
As a victim of sexual assault and an advocate for survivors, I would ask that the record be...
No, this is a point of order. So from my right-hand side, I will hear it in silence. I apologise to the member.
As a victim of a section advocate for survivors, I would ask that the record expunge the comment from the Prime Minister.
Order. And again, as I've attempted to explain, that cannot be done. What happened yesterday happened yesterday. Collectively, it wasn't addressed well at the time, but time has passed. Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
I wonder, I do accept that you made a previous ruling with regard to the comments of Ron Mark that as they had happened previously they couldn't be withdrawn. I wonder, and indeed had made the similar ruling with the Prime Minister's statement yesterday. I wonder if you could indicate to us which of the standing orders you are drawing on in making that ruling, because we've had a good look through the standing orders and can find no standing order that prevents you from asking anybody to withdraw and apologise from a comment because it happened the previous day.
Was there a further point of order also from Porter Williams? I'll hear them all and then rule.
Wonderful.
Point of order, Porter Williams.
As a victim and survivor of family violence and an advocate for victims of violence, I take personal offence at the comments of the Prime Minister and ask him to withdraw.
No, we're now getting into the stage when there could be a series of these points of orders. I've ruled that at this order, I don't want to ask the junior Labor whip to leave. But if I saw the member say something. I didn't say. Order. The member did. I saw it. I'm trying to allow members to stay in the order. Okay. Order. No, I just want to deal with Chris Hipkins, and then if it's the same point of order, if I'm assured it's a new point of order and not the, I will hear it. Chris Hipkins, it is a matter of custom in this House that any issues such as these, the offence is taken, it must be dealt with immediately. It cannot be dealt with subsequently. Otherwise, we'd have all sorts of campaigns in here with people going over Hansard's weeks and weeks in the past, taking subsequent effect and then expecting a withdrawal to be delivered. I'll hear from Catherine Delahunty on the assurance that it's a fresh point of order and not in any way the type of points of order.
It's a fresh point of order. It's not a campaign, Mr. Speaker.
Campaign. I'm sorry, Catherine Delahunty.
As a victim of sexual assault,
Order.
I take personal offence. Would like to ask for a personal
the member
explanation.
will resume her seat. Order. No, I'm moving from here. I've been assured it's been a fresh point of order. I've just been let down by Catherine Delahunty. I will hear from the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta, but I certainly hope she's not flouting the rules of this House.
As a trustee of the Waikato Women's Refuge Te Whakaruruhau, I take personal offence.
Order. The member will resume her seat immediately. Order. I now will require any member who takes a point of order along the same lines to immediately leave the chamber. Point of order, Marama Davison.
As a victim of sexual violence...
Order. The member will leave the the member will leave the chamber. Point of order, Claire Curran.
As somebody who has experienced an attempted sexual assault, I take personal...
Order. I now require the member to leave the chamber. Point of order, Dr Megan Woods.
I take offence at the Prime Minister's statement and require that he apologise.
Then the member must also, for consistency, leave the chamber.